Yeah, it's good. Been getting treatment on it. Um, it's tough when you play a bunch of games in a short amount of time, but little knocks come, and our physio staff has been doing a phenomenal job getting me prepared for our next game.
As you get set to go out for Gold Cup, obviously this game already has important with the new stadium, the team you're playing, but almost does it feel even more important just given how many guys are out, you're going to be leaving now. It seems like this is an opportunity that you guys have to hit on.
Yeah, like you said, we have a bunch of injuries. We have a bunch of guys that are gone currently with their national team and are going after this game. So it's going to be extremely important that we try to win this weekend to get points and move up the table.
What was just your impression, I guess, when you've walked around the stadium, and what do you think the crowd's going to be like tomorrow?
Yeah, walking around the stadium, it's surreal because, we have a new training facility that's incredible, and here we have a new stadium that's I don't know, I'm just imagining it, and it's just going to be rocking and roaring, and just to hear that it's sold out, in the heart of the city, I can't wait.
Was the calf injury something that just happened? You mentioned playing a lot of games. Was it something that happened at a specific moment, or is it kind of just happened over the course of kind of overuse?
No, it happened in the Austin game.
Okay.
Late in the Austin game, but, I don't think we had enough subs, so I just kept playing on it, That's the type of player I am. You got to grind through certain situations and scenarios, so I'm just going to keep doing that.
And obviously Bradley was supposed to be the guy that in those situations could come in for you. How is he doing? I know he wanted to be a bigger part so far this year. How's he doing? We haven't talked to him in a while. And then, how much of a loss is it to not have him to kind of compliment you, but also step in while you're gone?
Yeah, you got to understand, Bradley, he's putting in a good shift, before his injury. And it's important that we keep an eye on him. He's making great progress. He looked great on the field the other day. So he's always a great guy just to have around. I learned so much from him, so I'm just happy that he's feeling better. He's back on the field, and can't wait to see him on the field again.
What is this time like for you? Obviously, old stadium, said goodbye to it. Introduced the new stadium. You made the Gold Cup team. What has these last 2-3 weeks been like just for yourself?
Yeah, first off, it's always like an honor to represent your country. To have the opportunity. And closing out the old stadium, it was a great feeling. Had a great crowd. And now, we're entering a new era where we're opening our new stadium, our new fortress that we have to protect. So it's a lot coming in a short amount of time, but, you take it day by day. And I'm excited just to be able to step out on the field this weekend in front of our home crowd, our fans, our friends, our family members, and, we're just going to try to get the 3 points.
Just from a national team perspective, you obviously haven't been with the group for a while, so this Gold Cup, what do you hope to show? I know there's a lot of offensive guys that called in, so what do you want to show? Obviously, Greg knows what you bring, but your chance to prove yourself at that level again.
Yeah, I'm like you said, I'm just going to try to give it my all, each and every single training session, and, if my name gets called to play, I'm going to give it my all. And that's all I can do. Keep working extremely hard and do the best I can.
I know you also pay attention to what's coming, and with the situation up there, how are you guys thinking about handling that? Is that something where Miguel Berry could come back? Do you look to play kind of a false nine? I mean, I know you're not going to give away everything, but what are you guys kind of thinking in terms of that?
Yeah, I think, like you said, we'll worry about that, after this game. Not that we haven't thought about it. Of course we've thought about it, but right now we're focused on the next game, and we know we're gonna have G for this game. Although he was a little bit tight with his calf, so we may have to. We'll see, manage his minutes, whether or not we start him, whatever. But yeah, we'll worry about those things after this game. We need to win this game. That's what we're focused on. You can't worry about the next game and lose sight of this game and getting the win now.
What's your confidence level of Pedro being available for the game tomorrow?
He was a little bit better today. It's the first time he's trained. So again, I think he's similar to G and a few other guys actually. There's 3 or 4 other guys that maybe they're not able to start. Maybe they come off the bench. We'll see. Those are decisions we'll make now that we know where guys are at on the last day going into the game.
Thinking back to 2019 when you had guys out for the Gold Cup, this year you have Lucas Darlington, an improved Jonathan Mensah. So certainly there's a core still there. How important is it going to be just to get excellent performances out of those guys this month?
Yeah, our depth's improved from 19. We have similar injuries, maybe even worse actually this year. That doesn't get talked about. I mean, I don't talk about it either because I don't care. I got to win, and it doesn't matter. No one gives you a free pass for being injured. And I think the challenge is losing so many wingers. That's one thing we have to be aware of. When we're losing three wingers, so we're losing too many guys in one position in a window, it starts to become more of a problem, especially when you're a bit thin, which we are. And then obviously the 9 position, Bradley always was going to be kind of the guy that we were going to go to in this window when Giassi was leaving, which is the main reason we signed him, but he's injured right now. So that's not worked out as planned completely.
You mentioned the importance of winning this last game here. How important is it to win the first game at this new place, but also make sure the guys don't put too much pressure on themselves that they have to win this game against a very talented team that's first in the East right now?
Yeah, I think the psychology in every game is always important, and every game's a little different, home, away, who you're playing, an opponent. One week maybe you think you're superior to, the next week maybe you think you're inferior to or even to. You're coming off different results. It's always the psychology is different. I mean, they had 5 wins in a row. They took their first loss in quite some time, so they're going to deal with a different psychology than they've dealt with in the last 6 games. I think our guys are pretty steady right now. We feel like we've been bled into the season. I've said this. First 5 games, we had 5 points. Next 5 games, we've had 10 points. So we've averaged 2 points per game over the last 5 games. We've taken 3 wins, a draw, and a loss. And in those 10 games, 6 of them were on the road. So we're pretty neutral. People want usually things to be black and white, good or bad. I think we're in position right now. And I think our guys are very neutral in their emotion and very businesslike. They know that we're in position, which is important in the first 10 games, especially dealing with Champions League, dealing with injuries, coming off a championship. You guys can look at all the numbers. We're in better position than most. But I would say we're not celebrating the position we're in. We know we need to improve in this next 10 games. And that's exactly where I want our mindset to be, is pretty neutral right now. There's no reason to be high or low. There's no reason to think we're good or bad. I think we're in position.
Can you talk a little bit about the importance of fans, and especially in the ways that you can see them, so like tifos, banners, even sold out crowd? What does that do for you guys? Yeah,
it's a huge lift. It was weird last year playing games with no fans. We're not used to that. In fact, we get so conditioned to deal with that, to deal with the external, environment pressures, that it's weird when you don't have that. In some ways, you don't have that natural tension that you need to perform and be locked in and be hungry and switched on and be stimulated in the right way. So I think it's been way more normal just having fans. And I'll always take good players with a full packed stadium in a big game, always. And I'll take my guys in big games because we've been able to win big games. And that's a big reason last year when the pressure was high and the margin for error was slim. And when we needed more, we got more. And you'll get that with good players, quality players. So I never worry about big games against good teams in big environments. And even funny enough, when you look at that Austin game, I knew they were eventually going to put one on a team. And you saw what they did to Portland 4-1. And, good thing that wasn't us. Because honestly, I think they tried to put that on us. And we didn't let it happen. We buckled down and dug deep and grinded. And I think that shows just the group that we have. And I love that in our team. We're always going to be in every game with a good mindset, defending well, being organized. Those are things that over the long haul in this league make a big difference. And hopefully our fans make a difference at this game. And we have 13 more games in this new stadium. Maybe we make it 13-0. You know, we're going to take it one at a time. And the 4 games at historic Crew Stadium, we won 3 and drew 1. So, and last year we were, you know, the best team in the league, or one of the best at home. So we want to make sure that first game's a win. That always helps. Doesn't always happen. Took Austin 3 games. You've seen sometimes you don't get it, but you know, I believe that we're going to get it in this game.
New England was obviously one of the top challengers with you guys last year. It seems like, at least offensively, one of the major differences is Gill. In watching him play, how much has he elevated his game, and how big of a difference has that been for them to start the season?
Yeah, what I see in their team is not a lot different than last year, other than they seem to be riding a wave of confidence and momentum. Clearly, they won 5 in a row, and you know, they're a team that has been built to win in MLS. Obviously, they have the best coach all time in MLS leading them, and he knows what works. And you know, what works is an athletic team, a team that can do different things, a team that's confident, a team that has players that can score goals. They're good in duels. They can press because of their athleticism. They can counter because of their athleticism. They have enough technical players to keep the ball. They're pretty multifaceted and well-rounded, and again, built to win games in MLS. And I think typical with Bruce's teams, they're loose, and confident, and play with a lot of freedom. How they respond after a loss, we'll see. You never know how the group's going to be a little bit. So, you know, I think that's the challenge for them this week is, okay, how do you deal with that?
The impact of our tour not being available has certainly been exacerbated with not having Aiden and Perry, guys who could plug in there immediately. Perry was on the bench last game. Just how important is it getting him back now?
Yeah, I think we've had issues on the wings. Like I said, a lot of guys gone or injured, very thin, and then we've had issues in the center of the park. Same thing, a lot of guys injured, going to the 3rd and 4th in the depth chart. Games are won and lost in the center of the park. I don't mean necessarily the 3 central players, but for sure the center of the park is where the game is decided. Both sides of the ball. It's where you control the game, both sides of the ball, and so we don't have one of our best players, Artur, and one of the best midfielders in the league, in there, bringing that range, bringing those you know, duels and ball winning, bringing all the things he brings. So we've had to adapt to that a little bit because he was such a key guy last year. But I think we've adapted again pretty well. I said it after last game. I'm very proud of the group, how resilient we've been, and dealing with all the things we've dealt with. And for me, I think that's going to help us down the road. You know, that adversity always helps you. And I'd much rather go through it now and then get better. And I think we are getting better. We are improving. The points show that. When you look at the games we've played, it shows that. You know, and we have to keep that perspective, because I don't think anybody else realizes that. You know, they're just looking at the bottom line, and they want us to win every game after winning a championship. And it's MLS. That doesn't happen. We were the 3rd seed last year, you know, going in. We're in position. You know, we're right there, I think, you know, in a good spot to trend upwards, improve, get more healthy, and that's how I like it.